Hey guys, how are you? And today I'm gonna do a couple of videos for you guys. So I've got another Photoshop tutorial, and this is for 3D text. So I'll just teach you how to make pretty good 3D text in Photoshop with the new 3D feature. Now this tutorial I think is unfortunately not available for some of the other Photoshop versions. So you probably will need Photoshop CS6 or CS5 or CC. Now, you can do 3D text in Illustrator, which I'll do another separate tutorial later on when I get Illustrator. Now, Illustrator is much more easier to do 3D text in, but then I usually put it into Photoshop to put the effects on the 3D text. Now, before we get started in this tutorial, I want to make a notice that I haven't really been organized for this tutorial, so yeah, I don't have any files with it or anything, so I'll just be doing it off the top of my head. So I really hope that you guys enjoy it, and I'll just go ahead and open up my channel, and I'll just show you what we'll be doing later on in the future. So we'll be doing some gaming videos. Unfortunately, I'm on holiday in Europe, so I won't be able to do any Clash Clans videos. So I know that I have been advertising the new channel on Clash Clans, but unfortunately I can't record my iPhone here in Europe, so I need to wait until I get back to my home country, and then I'll be able to record lots of videos for you guys then. So I upload one video each day. So yeah, I'll also be uploading a Terraria Let's Play every day of the new update. And yeah, so let's go ahead into today's tutorial. So let's go ahead and open up Photoshop. Now, forgive me for talking so much, I just want to kind of share it to you, and then we'll get really into this tutorial. So I want to try and make it quick and easy, but also quick and good for you guys. So we'll just let Photoshop open up here. Takes a bit of time. Okay, it's open. Now what you want to do first is you want to press Command N or Control N, or you can go to File, New. And this is going to bring up a new place, and it's just going to say create a new document. I'm just going to name this 3D text tutorial. Okay. Now, you want the width by 1280 by 720. That's my favorite dimensions that I always use for my Photoshop stuff. Press OK. Now, you want the background to be transparent. I forgot to make a notice of that. Now, make sure that your background and foreground color is black and white. We're going to go ahead and fill in this background with white. So you're going to go ahead and press Command Backspace to fill that in with white if your background color is white. If it isn't, you have to just get the paint bucket tool and just fill it in. Alright, now you're going to head and go to Window, and you're going to go ahead and grab the character one. Now make sure that it's up there. So for an example, if it's not up there, and then you can just put it in this little thing here. Now this is all your little settings for your text tool. I like this little window as it's very useful for later uses in many of my tutorials also. So go ahead and grab up your text tool by pressing this one, or just pressing T as a shortcut. You're going to pick a font that you want. Now pick Arial for this 3D stuff, because when you actually I'm going to pick this cool one. So you can download all your fonts by darfonts.com. If you don't know that website, it's a really cool website, and I really recommend it to you. That's where I download all my fonts. I'll be leaving a link in the description to this awesome website. So for an example, if you just want to download a font, you just go to download, and it just loads up there. Then you just open it up, double click, and then you just double click on the font, and then you just press install font. That's how easy it is. So your font's installed. But yeah, let's get into it. So I'm just going to make a letter for this tutorial. Actually, I'll just go to Ace. Now, when we do this 3D, you do want a little bit of spacing in between the text. So I'm going to press Ctrl T and size this up by holding Shift to make sure that the sizing stays in ratio. I'm going to press Enter to check that. I'm going to select back to my Move tool. I'm going to press Ctrl A or Command A to select the whole document. Press the second and fifth icon up there to center the text. Now press Ctrl D to deselect it. I'm going to rename the background. And then I'm going to lock this layer. Usually your layer does it, but for some reason my Photoshop never locks that layer. So let's go ahead back into your text layer. And we're going to add all the effects later on. But until we do that, we need to make it 3D. So I'm going to make a little bit of spacing difference. So I'm going to highlight my text. And I'm going to go into this VA spacing. And I'm going to use one of the presets. So let's go to try it 50. 200 looks pretty good. So just keep it to 100, depends on the text. Now I'm just going to resize that as it does change a little bit. Now we're going to press Ctrl T and I'm just going to make it a tiny bit bigger. Okay, now in CSC or CS6 you have this 3D icon. Now you're just going to go to 3D layer. New 3D extrusion layer from the selected layer. So it is pretty straightforward. So I'm going this from my head and I'm going to go to yes, I do want to go into a 3D workspace. Now my computer may lag a little bit here, so just please stay with me. So your text is put into this straight away to this 3D place. Now you want to just work with it. So you're going to go into just your settings. So I'm just going to pause the video here and I'm just going to try and find a good area and then I'll come back straight to you. I'm just trying to mess around with it. So while you're into this 3D, I found a pretty cool effect that you can use. So what we're going to go straight ahead into is we're going to so you're going to have this view like this, right? I'm going to kind of move the text a little bit into the direction like you're coming from it above. So just find a cool spot. So I'm kind of liking here. So you just want to kind of mess around with okay, I'm liking this. Now here you have all these different settings, so these can be quite confusing if you don't know what they're doing. So here you have the 3D model. So what you can do is you can move it in different ways of how you want to. But so here you can move it from side to side. So if you want to make it kind of look like this one. So if you want to kind of make it can you imagine that floor as a building, right? And the text is sliding down from that building and you can have all these cool different effects coming from it. Here you can just move it around like this casually. This one you have just this type of movement. Here you have this one, so you can zoom out and in. Okay, so now what we're going to do, oh yeah, here, before I go ahead, you have the X and Y axis there. So here, down here, you have this cool little filter by meshes. You want to go to here. Okay, you want to do cast shadow. If you don't have a shadow on your text, you can just uncheck that. So, wait. So if you don't have a shadow on your text, you can just uncheck that. Invisible, you can do that. But I do want to make it visible. And the deformation axis, you want to make sure it's in the middle. Now here you have all these cool shape presets. Now my favorite is this one, which is the emboss. So it embosses the edges. So you can pick which one ever you want, but I'm going to do, for this purpose of the tutorial, I'm going to pick the emboss. Actually, yeah, that looks pretty cool. Anyway, depending on your text, you should know now. Now here you have this one. So if you click here, you have the colors, so you can change around the colors. Now if you get on the spectral, if you double click on it, you can change the color of the text. So for this one, I'm going to make it this cool color. So actually, I'm just thinking what would look the best. I really like blue, as it's just a really neutral color. Okay, so if you change the spectral, that's how it looks like. And if you go down here, you can see how it looks like. Now, illumination is the color, the color of the text. So just kind of down here. Okay, we've got a really good color now. Now, diffuse is the color of the text again. But what you really want is you want the shine. So you're going to pump up the shine like that. Actually, what I'm going to do is, for this particular one, you can't really see with this type of shape preset. So I'm going to go to here. This one. You want this one. This 6th one. Sorry. And then when I come back here, you can really see what it's kind of doing here. So if I change the shine a bit, this is where the really cool stuff happens. So I want to make the shiny look stand out. So if I kind of change this. Just trying to pick a good color. Okay, that looks good. Now for the reflection, I do want to make it a kind of a tiny bit of reflection. So I want to make them 35 bow for shine and reflection. Then for the roughness, it's just like the texture of the text. So you do want to kind of make it a good texture, because we will be putting a texture on it later. So you're going to make that 15%. Now for the bump, I'm not really sure what this does to the text. But so we're just going to leave that to 0. And you're going to change the ambient to whatever color you kind of want. But it doesn't really affect the text with this. So depending on which of the type of text you have, each effect will have a different type of effect on it. So on this type of shape preset, it has this type of effect. So I'm really liking what this looks like. Now for the opacity, you want it to make sure it's 100%. And for the reflection, this is kind of cool, the refraction. So you're just going to keep that at 2. Now down here at the little light bulb, it looks like this. Now the color, we're going to make this white. So it's like full color reflection. And you're going to just change where. Just trying to pick a good color, good spot. Okay, that's a good one. Now for infinite light, it's it's hard to explain, but here you have the X and Y coordinates, so when you move that around, you can do it, see it changes, so you can do it to a specific coordinates that you want. But that looks pretty cool. Now I'm just going to change this a bit more to Right, that looks so good. Now we want to kind of render this. So I'm just going to render this. So I'll be 3D, and then you're going to go to render. But there is heaps of these other things. So 3D is really complex, but you're just going to go to render, and it's going to start rendering your scene. So I'll be back when this finished rendering because it will take quite a long time. Now, I just want to mention that you can escape the rendering process. So if you want to do some other effects on the text, you can escape it by just pressing the escape key. And down here it shows the time remaining, so it shows this time, so 35% done. So Photoshop has done a really good job on kind of like showing the user how to integrate their systems. When it's rendering, you can't really change the settings at all. So there's not much, there is heaps of settings in 3D. But what I like to do is I just like to make the text 3D. And then later on, you can just do heaps of stuff with the text, you know, just without using 3D. So it's much more easier to do all the effects later on. So I'll be showing you all the effects later on in the tutorial. So please don't worry, oh, that looks pretty shit. You know, you could have gone through the settings of 3D more. Really, all you need to know is this one, this one, this one, this one, and the properties of those and how to change the text color. And then later on, if you want to make a texture on it or something, you don't really want to do that in 3D. You want to do it later on in the real Photoshop. Back is we're just gonna, it's really easy to exit out of 3D. So once you've rendered it, you're gonna go to right click and you're gonna go to rasterize 3D. Boom, it's in a 3D layer. Hi, I'm back, and sorry I had to cut the video because I had some really bad moments during recording. So once you have rasterized the layer, you are done for this tutorial. We have made the 3D text, and that's it. Now be sure, just to sum this video up, I'm really sorry that I had a lot of cuts into it. I wasn't really prepared for this tutorial. I just had to pump it out because I'm a new channel. I need to like get the videos out there, and yeah, but I'm really sorry. I'm positive that I'll make it up to you guys with other good videos. And for Photoshop 3D stuff, it's not really a program designed for 3D. You want to go into 4D Seminar and do all your work there for 3D text. It's much more easier, much more quicker, and much more better. So anyway, I'll be making a separate tutorial on 4D Seminar text very soon once I get the program, and I will be uploading it to my channel ASAP in corresponding to this channel. So be sure to click on my channel down below and check out for that 4D Seminar tutorial. So anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I say again sorry, and thank you very much for checking it out. Please hit that like button below and make that subscribe button with a tick so you're subscribed for more awesome content. See ya. Bye bye.